3, 2, live.
Yeah, go. You got it.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Catalyst episode 4. Then we got me, Matthew. We got Luke. We got Casey,
What's up?
and we're gonna have Luke's girlfriend in here. Um, she's gonna get here in a second. She's messing around with the dog, priorities. But today we're gonna be talking about a couple of things. We want to talk to Luke and Bonnie
There you go.
about their experience at the Naval Academy, what's going on there. We know a lot of people had a bunch of questions about that. But on an unrelated matter, all right, tell me what you guys think about this. All right, Luke and Casey, because while we're waiting for Bonnie, I'm looking at this shit. All right, they're selling this thing now. It's clear rear. All right, it's what's that shit that people use in Japan?
Uh,
Like instead of using toilet paper.
like sprays their butt. I don't remember what it's called.
I thought it was
Yeah,
just
dude, what's that
water.
shit called? No, it's got a fucking name.
I have no idea.
Yep. Oh, whatever, man.
Something.
Well, I'm looking at this, dude. It's coming to our homes now, bro. It's coming to our homes. It's only like $100, and it'll spray your ass with water. Oh God, that's disgusting. What is wrong with those people? But I got a funny story about that, man. When we're out at sea, it's not really a story; it's just a thing that happens. But man, when we're out at sea, we're underway on the ship, man. The Navy, even though they spend like billions of dollars on miscellaneous bullshit, they love to give us the worst quality toilet paper. If half of a ply was a thing, that's what it would be. And and motherfuckers will be getting hemorrhoids like crazy. So people will bring their own wet wipes on, like on board with them, and they can't go through the toilet system because they'll jam the toilet system 100% of the time. So like I'm in the head one day just taking a leak, and I look under the head is the bathroom, and I look under the like just walk by and see some dude's feet in the stall, and I couldn't help but notice that like he was putting something into a little plastic bag, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Well, turns out this motherfucker would wipe his ass with these wet wipes, and he had a plastic bag in his pocket, and he would put the used wet wipes in that plastic bag, and then put them back in his pocket and store it in his rack. And
What the fuck?
once it filled up with shit wet wipes, then he would throw it away. But because they don't want to use the half-ply toilet paper, and if they throw the wet wipes down the toilet, it will jam the toilet 100% of the time. It always does. But yeah, I don't know. I thought you guys would think that's pretty funny. Hey, is
It's
Bonnie
just
here
nasty.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Getting frank.
Yeah, Bonnie, introduce yourself.
She's chewing.
Nice.
Tell her to stop doing that.
So I grabbed some pizza.
Nobody gives a fuck about your pizza, Bonnie.
So right away, we should probably let you know that Matt's pretty aggressive towards Bonnie.
Well,
Dude, I
with
am.
girl actually. But my name is Bonnie. I'm Luke's girlfriend, and I'm here because we break. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, tell us more than that, Bonnie. What do you do?
Well, right now I am a sophomore at the Naval Academy. I major in physics, and I want to fly helicopters. And I ride horses.
Any good?
We've been doing all morning.
Yeah.
How good is she, Luke?
When did you start that this morning?
Too goddamn early.
About left my house at 5:45 probably.
That's
45.
disgusting. And you finished what? 2 hours ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, about.
Jeez.
that's about a normal day for horse showing.
That's why you don't ride horses.
I don't think it's probably any better for swim meets though, is it, Casey?
No, we don't have to get up at 5:45 for those. In fact, the earliest I've had to get up for any meet this past season, was probably like 7.
Dang.
Yes, man. I remember doing those swim tournaments in high school and shit. We had to be there at like
Those were
6:30 or some
terrible.
dumb shit.
Yeah.
That was retarded, dude. And I always ended up in the 6th lane. I don't know why. But
No clue at all.
Because you're fat.
yeah.
Actually,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
kind of helps with swimming. It makes you float better.
I was not fat when I was a swimmer, just for the record, okay? But
Dude,
I
Place more water. Makes
talking.
sense.
Make sure you get closer to the mic. Oh, Luke, how good is Bonnie?
At riding
what?
horses,
Oh.
or just as a person.
Horses, Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some pictures of her, and like I thought she was really, really good.
Oh my gosh.
And then today, like, her horse and her were trying to jump over shit, and they kept fucking hitting it with the horse's shins, and I was like, damn, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
so
Let's also remember that I haven't ridden in 9 months, and I got on a horse yesterday, and then went to this thing today.
How long have you
So-
been like practicing horse riding?
I've been riding like actually since I was 12, but I've been on a horse since before I could walk.
cool. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Can't even
Uh,
remember. That's okay. Hey, let's talk about this Naval Academy thing because we know a lot of people are interested. A lot of people don't know what the fuck the Naval Academy is.
All right.
I'm sure if and Luke don't I mean, agree with me here if I'm right. What was I don't know. But
The fuck?
I'm sure that when you talk to motherfuckers, ignore that, man. I'm doing something right now. I'm fucking around with something in my hands. But
I'm
if
sure you are.
Is
if you
it-
talk to somebody from back home, right? How often do they say something along the lines of, "Oh, you're in the army, right?" They do that to you.
Yeah, it's pretty. People get pretty confused.
So why don't you break up that confusion? Tell everybody what the Naval Academy is and what it's not.
So it's pretty much just a 4-year college, where everyone who graduates from it commissions either in the Navy or Marine Corps as an ensign or a second lieutenant, and then is in for 5 years at least doing whatever job they do. And the jobs range from driving surface ships, being on submarines, flying planes in the Navy or the Marine Corps, or like being a Marine Corps officer. And there's a couple other niche jobs that don't have a whole lot of people that go into them, but they're still around. That's pretty much all it is. I'm in my junior year. Bonnie's in her sophomore year. And yeah,
So military school, college style.
So it's the whole thing at the Naval Academy is that it's not college. And at first when Luke was at the academy and I wasn't, I would laugh at that because I thought what I was doing was really, really not college, and what he was doing was college. Now that I'm at the Naval Academy, I'm seeing that there's no way this is college because I wake up at 5:30 every morning and I don't go to bed until 11 p.m. And I'm doing stuff constantly throughout the day. So I know my friends wake up a lot later than me and go to class a lot later than I do. So I would say that it definitely is not college, but we get college credit and we get a
yeah,
4-year
not
degree
college
from
in
it.
like the traditional sense.
Yeah, but we do get a bachelor's degree from what we do, and we go to school throughout the day. But there's a lot more to it than just going to class. So
If you guys
There's-
wanted to, could you stay longer for a master's or a PhD, doctorate, whatever?
So you can't stay. We don't have master's programs at the Naval Academy. There's a Naval Postgraduate School in California that you can apply to, and you can also apply to go to like civilian schools and get your master's. And you can do that like either right after or further down the line.
Luke,
Yeah,
did I tell you?
Go-
Oh yeah, keep talking,
I'd
man.
say it's not the good part of the deal is we have like no college debt. Like the military pays for our whole 4 years in exchange for us doing stuff afterward.
Yeah.
That's like the trade-off.
That's cool, man. And how hard is the Naval Academy to get into?
Well, I didn't get in on my first try, so I think like decently hard. I'm also not like I wasn't like a complete stud in high school, so I don't know. I guess it kind of ranges.
So wait,
Depends
you're
on
saying
like
you were part stud
yes,
on the
Yeah,
Or
tennis
is he
team?
inferring? Maybe he's inferring that he is a complete stud now.
Mm.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
he is actually.
Yeah, I'm a
That's-
stud
The
now.
fuck up, Jesus Christ. That's cool, man. Yeah, there's I actually since I didn't make it into West Point when I applied and never finished my Naval Academy application. I didn't tell you guys this, but actually, literally like 3 days ago, I started my Stay 21 application for the nurse corps.
You just told
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, well, I told Casey because Luke didn't want to fucking show up to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I started my Stay 21 application in the nurse corps,
So what
trying
all
to get out of this
what all do you need
engineering
to do
thing.
for that? Since you said you won't find out till October or something like that.
There's some similarities to getting in the Naval Academy, but like you gotta have qualifications such as like stuff that's outside of your control, like wherever you're born and all that. Well, not where you're born, but you gotta be a U.S. citizen. You gotta be under 27 years old, except for the nurse corps specifically. You gotta be less than 42. So I'm not gonna have a problem with that. Whereas the Naval Academy is 23. Um, But you gotta get interviewed by a bunch of officers. You gotta get interviewed by your CO, your commanding officer. He's gotta recommend you. You gotta do some paperwork. You gotta get evals, a bunch of bullshit. And then you have to have the college stuff behind you. So like I need 30 credits by the time that I start a nurse program wherever I would end up starting it at.
How many?
Um, uh, after because JST credits will count too. So after my JST credits come through, probably around like 16 as of now.
It's not too bad.
Then I have 6 I'm doing right now, and I'm about to collect. So I don't think it'll be a problem. But the hardest part is getting accepted, because I'm 21. I have a history of disciplinary action, uh, which is the hardest part. In fact, my chief the other day, I told him I wanted to do this and started it. He sat me down in the chief's mess and he was telling me, he's like, all right, so look, if you want to do this, here's all the things you got to do, blah, blah, blah. He's like, now remember, this is the same commanding officer that oversaw you getting in that fight with that second class. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'll just, I don't really know what to say to that if he asked me about it, but yeah, man, most people don't get on their first try though. It usually takes them like 3 or 4 tries.
Yeah. So what? Okay, you want to talk about your like college/education experience?
Sure, man.
I
Yeah,
mean, like
bro.
you
We can talk
like
about all those.
war, and then you did like Navy education, and now
Yeah,
you're doing
bro.
in college again.
Yeah, bro. So
So what do
I
you
got
want
out
to
of
do
high
with your
school.
life?
2 separate.
Bro, bro, I got out of high school. I was a total fuck in high school. I barely graduated on time. Um, I made it by like 0.25 credits because Mr. Neal in history class did not see me cheating on the exam. He came up to my exam, picked up my exam, looked at it, but he didn't ask me to pick up my arm, and my arm had the paper with all the answers under it. Had he seen me cheating, I wouldn't have passed the exam. I passed it by like 2 points because I cheated, and I ended up graduating high school on time. So that's how much fuck I was in high school. Went to community college. Fucking, I'm on academic probation at Hack, so I think that speaks for itself.
Why?
Academic probation. Why am I on it?
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
I
You said something
attempted like
else.
I think I attempted like 20 credits and I got 4. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, man. Joined the Navy, went to nuke school, got 2 weeks away from graduation, flunked out of that. Got a good history, went to search and rescue school, search and rescue swimmer school, quit that like a bitch, and now trying to start fresh again. And get into this. I'm doing college now, and it's in my free time too. So like, if you live in California, if you're listening, one of our like 10 listeners, California has some shit where if you're in the military, they'll pay for your first couple years of school. Just I don't know how. Like I looked into it and I still could not find answers. The counselors didn't know, but all I know was that me and other people I know in the military, when they went to City College, San Diego City College, for example, which is the one I go to, they would waive all the fees, like everything. I paid $21 for 6 credits.
That's pretty sketchy.
So
It's pretty.
hey man, I don't ask questions. What, Luke?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I was saying, man, you call it sketchy, bro, but I ain't here to ask questions.
Yeah, until like 10,
Oh, it's
10
free. All
years
right.
later, they're like, okay, you owe us this money.
And 10 years later, I'll tell them, all right, you can suck my dick. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So I'm trying to get a bachelor's degree within the next 4 years, hopefully in the next 3.
But in
But
what?
I don't. I mean, in biology or nursing or something, if this nursing thing doesn't work in the next 3 years, I'm not going to stay in the military to continue my education. I want to become a physician of some sort. So trying to get a bachelor's degree or be on the tail end of it by the time I get out of the Navy, and then use my GI Bill to go to medical school.
So you've had some aspirations in the past, but they've all fell through. So how are you going to motivate through these new aspirations that are like 10 years in the making in the future?
Motivation is fucking bullshit. It's less about motivation and more about just fucking overcoming the obstacles that I how do I explain this? So I'm a huge procrastinator, like a lot of people are, right? And that has kept me personally and probably most people from achieving the things they want to achieve. Right. In this case, my academic shit. I think academics are for the most part retarded. I don't know why I'm taking a history class if I want to be a doctor one day. I ain't here to like whatever. But I looked up ways to defeat procrastination. And I found some and I use them, and that's how I get my homework done. Except for
What?
this
Wait,
week, in
wait.
which
I
So
want to know
that's
what
more
some of these
short
are.
term.
so one of them is called the Pomodoro method, right? And it's some shit that you could fucking come up with by yourself, right? But it's like it's some scientifically proven shit where basically, you eliminate yourself all distractions for 25 minutes. So you sit down, say you're doing homework, right? Say you're doing an essay. You sit down at your computer or whatever, and you start doing the essay for 25 minutes. You don't text, you don't call, you don't do any of that shit. And the goal there is not to tell yourself, I need to finish this in 25 minutes. It's to say, I'm going to work diligently for 25 minutes. After not 20 minutes, not 30 minutes, not fucking 26 and a half, 25 minutes. And after 25 minutes, and you stop and you do whatever the fuck you want for a little while. In my case, I play Call of Duty, right? Because I have a problem, man. I play a lot of Call of Duty. And then after that, you do it again for 25 minutes or so. And that will help train. I mean, first of all, it makes it a lot easier because I think I talked about this last podcast. Procrastination is fucking like help me out, guys. What's this word I'm looking for? Your brain, you use the same part of your brain for procrastination as you do for pain, right? Similar parts of your brain. So that's why you don't want to do work so much because it's painful. It's painful to start the work, but the studies show that after you actually start, as long as you just start doing it, that goes away within a couple of minutes, and then you can do the Pomodoro method to keep yourself up. And in the same way, and I found this personally too, in the same way that I can go to the gym and train my biceps or my chest, all right, by doing, just fucking with them 3 times a week for over time, it's the same way with procrastination. Just like you train your muscles, you can train your brain. So I'm not procrastinating nearly as much as I used to, and that's how I have like 100%, 100+% average right now, only in 2 classes, but still, that's a lot better than I ever was before.
Looks more like it's just a time management rather than actually getting rid of procrastination.
What you do?
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of curious to that. Like, Casey, how? Because I know, like, at my school, like, I don't really have many other options of things to do with my time. It's pretty much just like I have to be on campus during the weekdays, so I pretty much just do my work because I have to be there anyway. So, like, how do you stay motivated to do stuff at at civilian college?
So I live off campus, just for the viewers to know, and so some of the work that I have to do, I can only do on campus. So normally, in between classes, especially for this semester, since I have a somewhat easy schedule, I would just stay on campus for what I need to do, get some of it done at least, and then move on to something else, and then maybe come back to it the next day, so I don't burn myself out on the same topic over and over. For other stuff that I don't need to do on campus, I would just go back to my own apartment and do the same thing.
Huh.
I don't know. I've always kind of done that, but I mean, I still procrastinate, but not that bad to the point where I'm literally waiting last minute to start a whole new project kind of thing.
That's me.
Were you that way in high school, or did you have to train yourself once you got into college?
Um, I procrastinated a little bit more in high school, but I had to train myself to actually do the work and go more in depth with the work in college, if that made sense.
No, that's fair. That's what I had to do.
Yeah, high school and college are completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I don't know. People would always say that in high school, and you'd go like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm sure it is," but it really is different once you actually go there.
Yeah. Another question I have for you is, so like, one thing that's nice about the military that I'm sure Matt can like at least partially agree with is like you're not like worried about where you're gonna work because you have like a contract that is like valid for a certain amount of time.
Hmm.
Sweet contract.
Like how are you feel about, because I know you're like working on like starting to do the job search thing now because you graduate soon. So how do you feel about that? Like looking for work?
I'm pretty fucking terrified of it, honestly, because one or two of my friends struggled a little bit with getting a job, and they were both engineers, so it's like a popular demand. Um, and so in 6 months, I believe, after I graduate, I have to start paying the bills or the loans. So if I
Yeah.
don't have a job, you know, I'm kind of fucked. But I mean, right now I have an interview Tuesday, so
Right.
and these guys
I
sound
mean,
pretty
you're,
interested. What?
What's your degree in anyway, dude?
Computer science.
Oh, good shit. Oh, but that's one that's like actually like a legitimate degree.
Sort of,
So
yeah.
what's the problem? Isn't it?
It's a legitimate degree, except you really don't have to go to college for this degree because you can learn everything and teach yourself everything by yourself, and you don't need to
yeah,
It's
pay
like
all the money.
like
it's better than
business.
an
But
English degree, an arts degree,
yeah,
and then find a job.
yeah. But yeah,
An
that's where I'm
English
at.
degree. That's
So
funny.
wait, Luke, what did you say? What degree did you say? I forget what you told me that you'd get.
So everyone gets a bachelor's of science, whether you're arts or like whatever you take. You can
Yeah.
take English, a couple other things, but I'm taking cyber operations, which is pretty much like comp sci with some policy stuff integrated into it.
So what do you want to do with that after the military?
I don't know. I'd like to be able to work from home. Is like would be really nice, I think.
Yeah, it just depends on the
And
company you get.
yeah, but I think yeah, I enjoy it. It's just I don't want to do it while I'm in the military, just because I feel like that'd be kind of boring job
Yeah.
in terms of work in the military. But afterwards, it wouldn't be too bad.
That's where I'm at now with school. Is like with school, it's all just kind of like office work kind of projects.
Yeah,
And so if you only do that and don't do your own thing, I can definitely see you getting burnt out pretty fast, like with computer science.
yeah.
So Bonnie, how about physics?
Well, it's just my first year doing the physics major, so I was in one class last semester, and it went pretty well. Like there's a lot of weird people in the major. It's really small major, so I kind of tried to find the people that I enjoy being around while I'm doing physicsy stuff. This semester I'm in 2 classes, and it's a lot more difficult than it was last semester, and it's just gonna keep getting more difficult. But
Out of curiosity, have you tried to ask Luke for any help?
what did you say?
Out of curiosity, have you asked Luke for any help?
No, absolutely not. He wouldn't be able to do the stuff that I.
Hey, what's the equation for kinetic energy? Go.
1/2 mv squared.
Matt?
That's yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Well, good job. Good job.
He would've helped me with
Casey, hold on. I'm really fucking curious, man, because I'm getting my shit paid for. I know how Luke and Bonnie are getting their shit paid for. Didn't you get like a scholarship or something for being a fucking swimmer?
No, you don't get for D3 schools, athletics don't get any kind of scholarships.
But you got a
Fuck.
scholarship for academics, right?
Yeah, it's which one was it? I think it was the presidential scholarship or something. It's like 20,000 off.
Oh, really? Damn,
Yeah.
nice. So how much does your school cost per year for in-state?
Well, now it keeps going up, and especially with the brand new building they just built, which is completely useless. I think it's now 60,000 per tuition, but that's also
For a year?
yeah, but that's also before.
Holy fuck! Woo!
That's-
Holy shit, dude! What the fuck?
That's also before the
Why would you agree to that?
because it's actually a good school.
Actually, a good school. How what, bro? What? $60,000 a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Casey.
Hold on, I want to see
I
what
thought you were smart for going to college. Holy fuck, dude.
Penn State's is.
State, bro. When I looked up Penn State, I remember it being like 12,000 a semester or some
Oh,
shit for
dude, you're
in-state.
fucking kidding
That's-
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, that's bullshit.
For in-state, bro. For in-state, not for out-of-state.
That's still bullshit.
Hold on, Eric. While you look that up, Casey, I'll look up something for you. Food bank hours.
But Matt, you have to think that 60,000 also before scholarships and before FAFSA.
Actually, it's
What
not.
did what did FAFSA do for you?
It like cut a lot of that cost away.
How much?
I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Know that very important number off the top of your head.
Why would I know
Okay.
that?
Well, I could tell you what mine is. Shit, man. $48 per credit hour. So fucking, it was like or something like that. It came out to like $138, a little less than $48 per credit hour. $138 per fucking class for in-state, and then if you wanted out of state, it was like $600 per class or some shit. But because of the military thing, I ended up paying $21, which is nice. And the cool thing is too, I don't because I'm gonna get new orders here probably in the next 6 months. I ain't telling this fucking college that I'm moving, man. I'm just telling them I'm staying here. They ain't gotta ask for any updates. I'm gonna keep taking their classes for free. You know what I'm saying?
Not if they see this video.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they won't be one of our 21 viewers. But
Our number went up by 11 since the first time you said it.
yeah, man, we're making it big, baby. Sir, yes, sir. Yeah, man, but fucking shit, $60,000 a year, man. Fuck.
What would you
Dude,
do with
this-
$60,000 right now?
Oh, you know what I would do? Here's what I would do, man. All right, I would go to McDonald's. All right, actually, I wouldn't go to McDonald's. What's it like a food place that tastes good but is kind of expensive? Um,
Wendy's.
where?
Anywhere other than McDonald's.
Oh, Five Guys. I would go to fucking Five Guys, bro. And I would get the big burger, you know, not like the half one. And I would get a soda. And I get a large fry. And if they have onion rings, I get onion rings.
And
That's
then
what
you
I would
gotta-
do if I had $60,000 type money. I wouldn't be going and buying chains and fucking expensive cars. All right. I'd say, I'm going to get the large meal, baby. I'm a fucking, sure, I'll download this DLC. It's only $10, you know? But god damn, $60,000, dude. You know how many chicken nuggets I could buy? Shit.
Matt, you already buy chicken. Like lots.
I know, but like, or like this, right? When you're okay, so the little stuff, right? When you're at McDonald's or Burger King and you go to the counter, you're like, hey, can I get a honey mustard sauce, please? And they're like, yeah, that'll be 35 cents. And you kind of look at them, you're like, you're a bitch for charging me 35 cents for this tiny little thing, you know? And actually ringing that bitch up. But I would be like, sure, swipe my card. Sure, let me get like 10 of them because I'm rich as shit, you know? Last week, I only put like $350 into it. But it's a company called their tick mark or whatever is INO. It's like Innovo or something, some medical company. Because I was like, all right, this coronavirus thing, it's probably gonna go up. Lo and behold, I bought it at $4, and now it's at 14. So that's an increase of like 300 some percent. I ended up selling it at like 11 or 12, so I made $500 last week, just straight cash. And you're damn right. I went to a taco place. Okay, I was just chilling there. I went with my buddy to a taco place, and the tacos are $2.25 each, man. And they're tiny tacos. They're authentic Mexican tacos, but they're tiny, man.
No,
But I
they're
bought
not.
6
It's
of those
El
bitches.
Taco.
Oh, motherfucker! It's called Tacos El Gordo. You wouldn't know shit about it. Fucking Yankee ass motherfucker. Yeah, man, but $60,000, bro. We could do a whole podcast on the things I could do with $60,000.
And it'd
Serious,
all be
bro.
useless. What are you talking about? No,
More useful than the shit you're using it for. Goddamn! Holy
Okay.
fuck!
Anyways,
Dude.
what was the question you originally had?
I don't even
Who?
know, bro.
I
You
don't
caught me off
either.
guard at that big number.
Oh, I think Matt asked, how you were paying for it, and I think we kind of talked about it.
Yeah. VA and scholarships,
Yeah.
and then loans.
Look at later. See, that's a 0, man. I'm trying to figure out what like shit, $60,000. God damn. Times 4.
What was the most that you would
Okay.
pay for a bachelor's degree, Matt? Like all 4 years
What?
of any college. What was the most that you would pay for
In
tuition?
what?
What?
I would do a bachelor's degree in nursing or biology for, I don't know, I'd pay like, and
Wait, what?
bachelor's degree in like for all 4 years, I'd pay like 40 or 50 grand.
I mean, that's doable.
Yeah.
The reason I want to do that is because you know, I want to go to medical school, and doctors make stupid amounts of money, so like it doesn't really matter at that point.
I mean, if you're good.
If you make it through.
Exactly.
You only have to be good. The lowest paid doctors, like the medium income, I got a computer. I don't know why I don't look this shit up. But the lowest paid doctors are typically pediatricians. And they on average make 140K to 280,000 per year, and they're the lowest paid ones. But if you're like a spine surgeon or something, or you know, like a good like a dentist or some shit, you know, you can make $30,000 a month. Stupid amounts of money. Stupid amounts of money.
Oh, Matt. Okay, I was actually wrong. I forgot they did this big cut in tuition. It's now 32,000.
Oh, that's a little better. Man, I wish you the best of luck, my friend. I really do. Not hating. I'm just damn. That's a lot of money, man. Fuck.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah.
That's if you consider that what you got to do. Then again, man, if I wasn't in the military, I'd probably be. I don't even know what I'd be, bro. I'd be a
Flunking out
fuck. I can tell you
college.
that much.
Would you even have
I'm on
gone
my
to
third
college?
college by now.
So you would have at least gone to college?
I would have gone to community college. Shit.
Hmm.
Wouldn't even.
Oh.
I got rejected from Penn State. They sent me a letter that said we wish you good luck in your future endeavors or whatever the fuck, you know.
Did you tell Luke that Ryan's going in the Marines?
Oh, no way.
I don't know if I was really supposed to tell people that, but since it's out there, fuck. Yeah, so Ryan's saying he wants to join the Marines. He's just got to tie up a few loose ends. Here, but probably in the next, I don't know, month or something, he's gonna try to go to MEPS.
Dang.
Yeah,
Good-
30
good for-
days. If you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man,
You
I'm
know
proud
what
of
I'm
him.
saying. So what is
Yeah,
he?
you.
So what is he
That's
doing
all.
right
That's
now?
all. Your,
I don't know, man. Shit, I think he's just chilling at home, working at FedEx or something.
that's gonna make it all your brothers now. You and both your brothers.
Yeah.
No, dude, and I'm gonna be the highest ranking one, and they can all suck my dicks. They're gonna call me petty officer,
I don't think they're gonna call you that.
but
That's petty.
yeah, they are. I'll force it. Petty officer Matt.
Anyways.
Oh, so you want to fly helicopters?
Yeah. So she actually she had to go let the dogs out. So
God damn it! I had a
but
good
yeah,
question for
she
her.
wants to fly helicopters. What up with it? I can answer for her. I
Oh,
speak
you
for her.
can't. That's
As
shit
as
is-
the man relationship, I speak for her.
all right. Well, I agree with you there, but all right. Since there's just 3 of us and we're all men, let's talk about how we think what we think women should and should not be allowed to do.
Oh God, nope, nope,
This
nope,
is a
nope,
slippery
nope,
slope.
I mean,
nope, 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 nope.
hey, what do you guys
You-
what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about abortion, man?
Wow, you totally took my topic.
That's like a basic ass top. Where the fuck did Luke go?
I don't know.
Oh.
He die? Yeah, he died.
How do you know he died? It says here he's on.
'Cause
Online.
He's not in. There he is.
Hey, Luke.
Is it
what
over
the
yet?
fuck?
Huh?
Is it over yet?
No. My question is, I'm serious. It's a serious goddamn question, motherfucker. What do you think about abortion?
I don't think guys should really have a say in it.
God damn it, dude! I want his fucking opinion. Get back here, Luke.
Yeah.
Fucking phone at. We're gonna do
It's
this
probably
shit on
because
my
him and Bonnie had like a
podcast.
conversation and turned it into an argument.
Give a fuck about. First of all, Bonnie is a guest. All right, Luke. Oh, do
But
not
now it's over.
fucking
Is it
leave
over
this
now?
time. Do not leave. Look,
Bonnie's back, by the way,
Bonnie,
cool.
how do you feel
Okay,
about
please.
abortion?
with the dog. With the dog. Matt asked about abortion, and I left.
Oh.
Bonnie, how do you feel about abortion?
I think it should be a woman's choice.
Hey,
And
I
not
said
a-
the same.
Matt, like, yes, I agree with the woman.
What if and look, man, I ain't giving y'all my opinion yet, but I'm just asking questions, right? But what if it's because in Virginia it's legal all 9 months? Should we be able to have a sentient 8.5-month human
No,
baby?
I don't agree with, like, there's more to that. I think that late term abortions shouldn't be a thing. I think you should be, I don't know enough about it to really say exactly. I know that there's like people who believe that once there's a heart and lungs and things of that nature that are formed, that it's not okay. I would say once the fetus is starting to form, that's about, I would say, when it's not okay. I don't know when exactly that's at, but
It's the fetus is starting to form.
when it's not like a little blob of jelly, when it's starting to form into like a little fetus. Uh,
Oh my god.
so pretty early.
Real technical terms here.
I would say pretty early on. I don't know. I think you should make that decision once you know you're pregnant. And I know a lot of people don't know that they're pregnant until later on, but
Isn't there a show where people just walk into the emergency room and they're pregnant and they didn't even know about it?
yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant. It's
Yeah,
a show.
what the fuck?
Oh, I thought you were claiming that you were pregnant or something.
Luke, why are you so
Damn,
quiet
I was
over
really
there?
hoping somebody would want to say like, "Oh, it should be banned." Luke,
Well,
what's
how
your
about
opinion on
this?
abortion?
I have a case study for you.
Let's
So
hear it.
there's this case that we learned about in my ethics class at the Naval Academy. There's a woman. She is stationed at, I'm not sure what country it is, but some small island naval base, and they are only allowed to go on leave every 6 months. And she just took her 6 months of leave, and she got back and she got pregnant on leave. So she put up a chit requesting emergency leave to get an abortion. And she couldn't get an abortion at the base that she was at the island she was at. She would have had to fly, apparently, according to the case study, back to the United States. And the CEO of the command was super religious, so he wasn't going to sign the chit allowing her to go back. So there's a lot of different scenarios that could play out with it. But yeah,
And
you
that's
were
an
asked
interesting
what
I
ass
feel
really
like
case
that's a very
study.
specific scenario, though.
that it
It's a
happened.
case study.
It actually happened.
Yeah, like it's an actual thing.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, in that specific case, you need something else than just you should allow abortion or you shouldn't allow abortion.
Right. So what would you allow? There were a lot of different options, like waiting. Like someone said to wait until her next time to go home, and the baby would be 6 months. She would be 6 months along at that point, which is pretty late term abortion.
But you'd also have to
Or
do a lot of your duties while getting big.
Yeah.
right, like she wouldn't be able to work. Like she'd still be out of the command, not being able to do her normal job. So there's
Typical.
that too. So or to send her on e-leave, but there's a contingency behind e-leave that it's an actual emergency of,
There's other people waiting to go on leave.
right, there's other people that have to fill into her spot while she's on emergency leave. So there's all kinds of different scenarios that could play out, but the big part about it was that the commanding officer was religious and didn't believe in abortion, so he didn't want to sign the chit.
The thing
So
about the military, man, is it's like there's a lot of opinionated bullshit. I mean, you ask me, man, the CO should not like the CO definitely shouldn't have God, how do I put it? Like the CO should not have stopped the chip for that reason.
right,
That's definitely religiously affiliated.
he shouldn't let religion play in. It should be command based and or operational based more than it should be personal beliefs. So yeah, that was just one thing we talked about abortion. But during the conversation, one of the boys in the classroom, he said, "Well, if I were in this situation," and all of us looked at him and we were very perturbed that he even considered himself to be a pregnant woman. So I think that there's a lot of that goes along with talking about abortion when men make decisions about things, because there's no way that you would know what it's like to be a pregnant woman, and there's no way I would know, but I would know a lot better than you all would, if that makes sense.
It's kind of why I
So,
believe. That's why I think that guys shouldn't really have a say in that.
Right, and I think that like scientists, doctors, like people like on that side that can put their say in with just like an actual like fact-based opinion. I
Mhm.
think that that's obviously fine. But talking about like the way that it is emotionally and what is best for a person's like body, like what is best for them physiologically, like is not necessarily, I think, man's place.
Yeah.
So, but that's me.
you think you can be a helicopter pilot, huh?
That was
Uh,
quite the turn in subject.
I would like to be a helicopter pilot. Yes.
So you
Think
think
it's
you
gonna happen?
I think that there's a good chance. I have good grades, better than a lot of people at the academy. I have a better PRT score than a lot of people. So I'm not the best by any means, but I'm not the worst by any means either. I'm in the top 50% of my class. So
Even as a woman, you think you could be a helicopter pilot?
I think as a woman, I can do anything that you can. And honestly, I've done more in my life, and I can do more in my life.
Matt, could you
Was that
say
last
could you
part?
ask that with a straight face?
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to fucking ask some controversial questions, but
Yeah, I think I can. Why wouldn't I be able to as a woman?
no, a lot of the arguments would be that you get too emotional.
I do get emotional, but I can control it in situations that I need to control it in.
Has there ever been a
Yeah,
You make much
situation where you
money.
couldn't control your emotion?
What'd you say?
Has there ever been any situation in which you couldn't control your emotion?
Not in the job atmosphere. I've always been able to do my job, maybe not to the best of my ability, but I think that's anybody. I think that's anyone that has to deal with things in their life that occur and that they have to push through. I don't think that me being a woman has caused me to react to difficult situations in my life any differently than anyone else. Just because I like show emotion outwardly more than other people, maybe because I am a woman. I don't think that, like, I think men are still um they were still prevented from doing their job to the best of their ability when they are going through times where they should be emotional about things. So I don't think it's an issue that women show emotion more than what men, and I don't think that that makes women less able to do jobs than men. If anything, they're more able because they actually show what they feel. So
Yeah, I gotta say, my first captain was a woman, and she did a really good job. She was probably she was definitely the best captain of. Well, I don't know. This captain's not through his full tenure yet, but she was really good. She got picked up for 05. Um, but yeah, I will say this though, and I'm not trying to be sexist or nothing. Like I'm just trying to ask controversial questions to spark the conversation. I know Bonnie
right.
is just as good at being fucking worker as anybody else. Now, when it comes to surfing, compared to me, a man, I'm significantly better. All right, but I will say that from what I've seen, being at two different commands in the Navy,
That were
um,
almost completely male. you might want to add that part before you continue.
Well, my second one is completely male, and I'm going to tie that in. Is that
the first one was also almost completely male, so maybe you should mention that as well.
I will mention that.
Continue.
Believe me, the women at Nuke School were significant. I'll tell you what, for sure, they were on average significantly better than me, and that's just the average. But the only thing is, fucking, I find myself having to be careful what I say, and not even sexist shit, like just shit that I would say to anybody, like my friends, you know, like when I call Luke like "fuck you" type shit. I find that I hem myself up and get more in trouble if there's women around, and I know for a fact that like probably 50% of the conversations that we have on my all male ship would get everybody in the conversation in trouble if there were a chick on board and she reported it, because I think that
Isn't that
I
that's
think
normally
that
just guy talk though?
that's what
Right,
I'm
but
saying.
there's the culture behind that a lot of the times should be changed in a
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah.
not in its entirety, but like if I'm around people talking about women, like I'm not gonna go say anything to get them in trouble, but I'm not necessarily uncomfortable, but I know what they're saying is not correct, just in like culture in general, like
Yeah.
when with your friends, and he was talking about stringing a woman along by a piercing on her clit. That's pretty weird to talk about with anyone, I would think, in the
Yeah.
room.
I've never heard that
With
one before.
When was this?
when we were all at your house hanging out with your friends from your ship, there were like 8 of us there, and he's just talking openly about some woman that he knew, and I don't know, that's weird to me. Like, I'm not gonna go
I've,
say anything about it, but I'm like, why would he have brought that up in general? Like,
What did
maybe
he say? What did he say?
I just said
you
it.
just said it.
I remember. So he said he would string a woman around by her clitoris. Is that what he said?
Yes, that he did.
I was there for this.
You might not have been in the room, but that makes it all even weirder that he would bring that up with me sitting right next to him. Like,
Pretty
I just
funny.
think that some censorship should be there. Like, not necessarily because I'm a woman, but even just
Just don't
because,
be a fucking weirdo.
yeah, just
It's
because
like,
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like yeah, I don't think you should be fucking weird and talking about like private things that you would only talk about with your best guy friends. Like, it shouldn't be just because I'm a woman. It should be because I don't fucking know you, and that I don't want to hear about that shit that you do in your life. Like, I don't give a fuck about
You're
what you do, but I don't want to hear about it.
this
Here's
is
why I disagree. Here's
this
why I
is hold on,
disagree.
hold
You
on,
just
hold on, hold on.
but
This
what I just
situation you were also with Matt's friends. So
right, but it's not just Matt's friends. It's been like I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, feeling like a woman is gonna say something behind their back, and like I've tried to make my guy friends in the Navy feel completely comfortable saying whatever they want in front of me. And that's why I've like had relationships that have lasted years with those people. That I haven't like they haven't felt like I'm gonna rat on them behind their back or whatever. But um you should also just like I don't think you should talk about like specifics of having sex with a woman with like anyone around other than your like close friends. And like, even if I am a close friend, like I was never close enough with the people to really hear about the things that they do in bed with somebody.
But what if some, because like here's the thing, right? I don't censor myself in front of women. It has almost gotten me in trouble and gotten me in small trouble multiple times in every professional environment I've been in, including in the military, including in the Navy. Thank God I'm on an all-male ship. I definitely would have been to mass probably multiple times if I was on a ship with chicks on it, right? Chicks can definitely do the job just as well as men. I totally agree. However, the reason that I personally don't censor myself in front of women is because I respect them enough to know that they're able to take whatever I'm saying just as much as a man. If I call a dude a stupid fuck, right? Maybe I'm mad at them, whatever. It's a very
But you
common thing to call each other stupid fucks. All right.
right, but you
I,
don't call
I
women fucks. You like tailor it to them being a woman.
okay, and I could tailor it to a man being a man too.
Yeah, but you don't.
I could tailor it to whatever situation
But you
whatever
don't.
characteristics they have. Like, what if they're fat, right? Be like, you fat motherfucker, you know? Or a woman just be like, fucking bitch or whatever.
Right, you
Like,
fat. You say bitch instead of you just call her a fucker. then? Why do you have to censor? Why do you have to say something to point out the fact that she's a woman? That's honestly the issue. Like women don't want to feel like we are different
What if I
than
call a man a motherfucker?
you would
Someone who
call
has sex sucks with a mother. That's a gendered term.
not male female. No, it's not.
Motherfucker? That's not a gendered term. Just
Why?
as much as the word bitch.
Bitch has a connotation that is much more like a woman being submissive and a woman being lesser than a man than motherfucker does.
And motherfucker doesn't have a term that it's
In
bad man.
You're really trying to make swing.
I want to know.
It's not working.
No,
I
I'm
really
just curious. I'm serious. This is my serious opinion.
I don't think bitch has like a really gendered connotation anymore.
I don't know.
I don't think it does.
What are you, bitch?
Right. I think in the military, yes, but like it definitely has a more gendered term than
It definitely started like that. Like same with like calling somebody a pussy. Is like,
right.
but now I think now
Fag.
it's like
Okay,
whatever.
yeah, but fag is becoming not okay just in general. Like
Fag has always been not okay. Now it's still not okay. Like I could call a dude a faggot. It's the same thing as calling a woman a bitch, right?
yeah,
Do you think so? So that's why I'm saying it's totally fair, in my opinion, unprofessionally, right? My unprofessional opinion, to call a woman who I am disrespecting a bitch without being sexist in the same way that I call a man I am disrespecting a faggot or a motherfucker or a or I call him a bitch too because bitch for like we've all said is really a lot less gender than it used to be.
But I think you point out the fact that there's a woman in the room literally all the time to make them know that they're a woman and that you're speaking to them in a certain way that is because they're a woman. That is probably why you would get in trouble, not because you need to censor what you say about like some woman that you fucked or some person you like, oh wow, she has a nice ass, whatever. A lot of girls, I would say from what my experience is, in my opinion, is that they don't really care if you're talking about stuff like that. It's when you point out the fact that they are a woman and that you talk about them as being a woman in the workplace differently than you would a man. That's the issue.
I disagree.
To which part?
Not the whole thing, but just like you shouldn't be talking about any of that shit at work.
Right. Yeah.
Like period.
In general, but like there's
my
Like you can
God.
I don't care what you talk about on your personal time, but if you're at your job doing your job, do your fucking job and don't talk about shit like that. That's how I see it. Like be professional where you work, and when you're on your own time, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
But and that's really the only problem. Like is like if people were just professional during their like work hours, like 9 to 5 or longer in the military, but get
I was
over
gonna
it.
say that's the problem, Luke, is that you don't have 9 to 5 hours. When you're underway, you're working 18 hours a day, 20
Yeah, okay.
hours a day.
Hey, no, I know what the fuck underway is like. All right, when you're doing your job, when you're with your division, you do your job and you're professional about it. When you go back to your bunk room where all the dudes are, where like you're with your friends, do whatever you want, right? Or while you're standing watch at fucking whenever. But when you're doing your like when you're working with your like the people you work with, like your coworkers, just be professional about it. And the same thing goes to the academy. Like my work and my home are the same place. We live in dorms that we do everything in. But like when I'm like doing like a group study session or I'm in class or I'm at like a sport or something, I act one way. And then when I'm in my room at like midnight, fucking around with my roommates, I act a completely different way. And I don't think there's necessarily something wrong with that. And yeah, like maybe sometimes the stuff I do privately slips over into like my workplace attitudes, but I definitely think that a lot of problems would be solved if people could just separate work and life a little bit better.
Especially in the military as like an 18-year-old, which is it's hard to ask of someone who's like coming straight out of high school who probably was on a sport and like locker room talk is like basically all the talk they had in high school. So then now they join the military and it's hard for them to separate those two lives because now work and play and everything else is all in one spot. But I don't think that there's an excuse. I think that you can still learn how to do that.
But yeah, I definitely agree, Matt, that like it's definitely harder in like a military
Right.
setting than it would be at like common workplaces, which is probably why the military still has like so much worse problems with this kind of stuff than
But it's not. That's
corporations.
the thing, though. That's like That's not true though. In the military,
Yes, the military compared to a
not
civilian
a
corporation.
college.
I'm
Civilian
not talking about a college. College
Okay,
is
well,
different.
college age people are in the military, so I think of it as a college.
No, I'm saying
Wait, what?
the military is
Like the average age of somebody in the military is 20 years old.
no, it's not. It's 25.
Okay, whatever, same
It's
shit.
much higher.
Corporation. It's like a
Yeah, it's
25 is that's still like
college age. What kind of
Age of
college are you going to where most of them are
That's
25
past
years old?
college age. What are
literally
you talking
our
about?
college.
That's
like most people
Yeah,
graduate.
that's because you're in the fucking Naval Academy. That's not a real college. That's like you said, it's some military way amped up bullshit. But no, man, like getting in trouble for saying, in my opinion, man, if you're not directly insulting somebody, all right, you're not directly trying to affect them with your words, then getting in trouble because of sounds that come out of your mouth is fucking ridiculous. Especially if you do your job right and don't hinder anybody else from doing their job. Like if I call I guess that would be a direct insult. However, in the military, and the culture is significantly different in the military too.
Right, and that's why
Significantly different.
change.
But I
That's
mean,
what-
you can. I don't really have any problems with like calling people names or
Right.
like cursing, because yeah, the culture is a little bit more like coarse than in
Exactly.
a lot of other places. But like, I think it's really just about like objectifying a person. Like you can call somebody a name and like be like, oh, you like you idiot. Like why the fuck would you do that? Or you like, don't be a bitch. Go do this job. But like when I think it's just like the way you talk about people. It's like it's not even about like calling them. I don't think it's anything about calling them names or anything like that. Like I know what you're talking about, like how
Yeah,
you like.
objectifying. That's the perfect way to put it, man. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, because if I call you a bitch, if I say Bonnie, you stupid bitch, or Luke, you fucking faggot, right? I could be saying that from a normal person, from a civilian's point of view, I'm objectifying you. But in the military, the culture is so much different, where it's not really trying to objectify who you are. It's just expressing my emotions
think
out into you in such a way.
with you personally, like, and like it is. I'm specifically talking about you, but it's more than just you in the military saying like, oh well, like as a woman, blah 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 blah, or oh you can't do that because you're a woman. Like yeah, I know you're kidding, and I like don't really care. I think it's funny, like whatever. Like I should probably care more. But there are a lot of people that if you say anything like that, yeah, you're probably gonna get fucking semioed. Or like it's gonna be brought up to someone higher than you in the chain of command. So I just think that watching the way that you say things, like if they are in your everyday language and your everyday conversation and they're not okay to a lot of people, then that's on you to watch what you say.
You think I should censor myself?
Matt, in
Because
all the
people
time
don't
that I've
like what I have
known
to
you,
say?
Matt, I don't think you've ever censored yourself.
But do you think it's necessary for me
I
or whoever else to have to censor themselves
I think
because
if
somebody can't hear what we have to say?
I think if you
And that's without me objectifying them.
knew your goal of becoming a doctor and being in higher education, you are going to have to censor yourself. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
not what we're talking about right now. I agree.
Right.
Doctors cannot call their patients fucking bitches, right? And one day, when I
Was the
hope
question-
when I
Should you have to
Hope-
censor yourself in general? Yes, in order to achieve your goals.
yes, but we're not talking about that, right? We're talking about military enlisted,
Wait,
right?
wait. How does censoring yourself achieve your goals?
I'm saying he's asking if he should have to censor himself, and I'm saying yes, in order to achieve his goals of becoming a doctor, I think that he will have to censor himself.
But he's asking
I-
like in general, like without even thinking about the doctor part.
I'm talking
saying
about enlisted, where I am right now.
All day. Should you have to
Bonnie,
censor-
restart your statement because it got cut off.
Yeah.
should you have to censor yourself in front of, like, if you maintained your job at your fucking minesweeper bullshit out in California with your all male ship where you're just jerking each other off all day and all that shit, should you have to censor yourself? Probably fucking not. Who cares?
Hey, you can't use that language.
I can use
You
that
can't.
language.
You
Why
can't.
not?
You can't because you said that we're doing a sexual act.
Sure, whatever.
It's fucked up.
All right.
That's over
Well,
you.
all I'm saying is, like, if you're gonna stay there for the rest of your time in the Navy, then no, I don't think you're gonna censor yourself. Are you going to have to censor yourself if, let's say, you move to a carrier where there are a lot of women because there are women there? Yeah, that might be the reason you have to, but should you censor yourself anyways? Yes. Like, should you censor yourself on the Minesweeper? You should, because it's still not okay to say some of the things that you say.
Well,
But
say I go to a ship.
do you
Say MM2 goes to a ship with women on it, right? And they do their jobs just as well as the men do. Okay, some people are going to agree, some people are going to disagree. All right, which I know plenty of people who disagree to that statement who've been on those ships, and I know plenty of people who agree and say that women can do better, right? I haven't been onto a ship with females on it, so I can't really speak for it. However, I have been at a command. Like I was in nuke school, and there were females there. And as far as censorship, right? So you're saying that I should be able to get in trouble for talking to a woman the same way that I talk to a man.
That's not what I said. I said you should censor yourself when you're objectifying and when you're speaking to them as, like, you're saying, "Oh, well, as a," or "You can't do this because you're a woman." In even a joking way, like, you shouldn't say that in a classroom setting. You shouldn't say that
Let's
at
say,
work.
because I say that to you, but it's not really something I say to chicks in general, just because most people don't think that's that funny. But so you're saying I can talk a certain way on the ship, right? On the Minesweeper, right?
If it's not objectifying, if it's not pointed at someone in a
Objectifying, I agree.
completely derogatory, completely offensive manner, then no. Like, do I call people a bitch? Do I call them fuckers? Do I call them whatever? Yeah, like but I'm like very gender neutral with a lot of the things. Like, yes, do I like call men misogynistic or whatever? Like, I'll be like, oh, I hate men, whatever. Like, yeah, I can get gendery with it, but a lot of the time, if I'm like insulting someone, it's pretty gender neutral. And I think if you shouldn't get in trouble for saying the same thing, but will you? Probably. Like,
Should I is the question. Should I?
no, absolutely.
Because I
I
can. I'm subject to it,
agree with
right?
that. Everyone would agree with the fact that you shouldn't get in trouble for saying the same man that you should do, because that goes against everything that everyone believes in with gender neutrality.
What's the thing that I'm saying to a man is calling him a fat bitch? And then I say it to a woman.
If it's the same
Should
exact
I get more? Should I get in more trouble because I call a woman a fat bitch than if I call a man a fat bitch?
no, you shouldn't.
Uh,
Would you? Probably.
Yeah, would you? Yeah,
And yeah,
probably.
that's an issue. I think we can all agree. I think everybody agree.
question is
They-
not would you, is it should I?
No, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, everyone would agree you should not.
Because a lot of
You-
people believe in gender neutrality. You shouldn't get in more trouble because you say it to a woman. Like, we're not.
You should. The only trouble you should get in is for being a dick to anybody. Just to being for like being a dick to a person. If you're gonna get in trouble, which I don't think in the military you would. But maybe
Hopefully
like
not.
office building.
You would if it was to a chick. I'll tell you that right now. You would if it was to a chick.
Yeah, that's what I'm
More than
saying.
likely.
But that like you shouldn't. But if
But you also have to know, like,
You have to
time
know
and
your
place,
audience,
and
yeah,
you
you
have
have to
to, like, I'm sure you have called me a fat bitch before, but have I
Have.
cared? Right, but I don't care. Like, you put me in a trash bag, like, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. But if someone I didn't know very well called me a fat bitch, like, I'd probably just fucking tear them apart in person and not worry about it other than that, which is the way people should deal with things. I'd probably just try to make them feel small as a man. But do people stay silent and bring it up the chain of command more than they should? Yeah, definitely.
All right. Oh, that was a good conversation. Who's got what else we want to talk about? What's going
I mean,
on here?
we're probably at like over an hour at this point.
Yeah,
Or
we're
Tell
at
me
close.
that,
104.
Casey.
104.
Yeah. I gotta get a shower because I'm pretty fucking nasty.
I do too.
Well, that's surfing.
On horseback, yeah, sure.
But I think this is a really good like discussion today.
Yeah.
We can continue it next week if you want to.
You
What do you think?
You asking us or Bonnie?
Yeah, you guys.
I don't care.
Matt?
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said.
He seems pretty frustrated.
Oh no, I'm not frustrated. What frustrated? What are you talking about, man? I'm just reading Facebook
Do
messages.
you want Bonnie to come back next week or no?
Hey,
What?
Bonnie?
Yeah,
Isn't
like
that
what? I mean, we should probably call this one soon.
We can call this one. I was hoping to have another guest on next week.
Okay.
Talk about his experiences with the Mormon Church and how it affected his life and now why he's out of it. He's got some interesting ass shit to say. I think you guys will really like it.
Yeah, I think we had a good talk today. What do you think, Bonnie?
Yeah, I think it was good. I hope that Matt maybe understood something, but probably not.
Whoa, who are you fucking shit on right now, motherfucker? I was asking some
It's-
controversial questions. I never said that I agreed with half the shit I asked you. I was just fucking asking it just to get some answers.
Just get some answers. Okay.
Yes, motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
fair.
Am I
Uh,
sexist? A little bit, but I ain't that sexist. Shit.
Oh, hey, I am too. So.
She's really sexist. All right. Yeah. Okay. Good talk, guys.
This has been the
Casey,
Catalyst
give us the
Podcast,
outro.
episode 4, where we had Luke, Matt, and Casey, myself as well, and our guest, I guess guest speaker. I don't know, whatever. Bonnie,
Bonnie.
Cinnabon, whatever. Thanks for listening.